So hello everyone. For today's lesson, we're going to talk about animation blend. So for this project, we're going to use the third person as our template. So this will be our interface. So assuming we already have our animation, we're going to import our files inside our folder. So in here, start from content, I already added my animation folder. So if you don't have an animation folder, you could select right click on this gray area or the blank part and select new folder and then rename this an animation. So in my case, I already have my folder for animation, so I'm gonna delete this. And then when you created your folder for animation, double click and then we're gonna import our animation. Then right click, go to import dash bin. So locate your files. So in my case, my animation is saved on my desktop. Then select crouch idle, crouch walk, jog forward. Then open. So there will be a dialog box. In this case, we're gonna select our animation. Since it's none, we're gonna select this drop down arrow and select UE4 underscore mannequin underscore skeleton. Then import all. Then just minimize this message log, or you could actually close. Then we're gonna add our blueprint for our animation. So go to content and then look for third person BP or third person blueprint. Double click. And then go to blueprints folder. And in this part, we're gonna add our animation blueprint. So in this part, right click using your right mouse button and go to animation and then animation blueprint. Right click, animation, then animation blueprint. And then we're gonna use our UE4 mannequin skeleton as our target skeleton and then hit OK. So if you want to rename this, it's okay, but in this case, it's okay if not. So I'm just gonna hit enter and the name for our animation blueprint is the new anim blueprint. So let's open that by double clicking. So we're just gonna add some state machine. So this will be your output post. So in this part, right click and then on the search bar, simply type new state machine. So click add new state machine and then attach the animation pose to the result pose. So it will be like this. Then you could rename our new state machine by selecting your node. We could rename in this part, or on your right side for the details tab, you could see the graph node name and then highlight everything and you can rename. So let's rename, for example, animation mannequin and then hit enter. And then let's start. So double click on your animation mannequin node. So you will have this node, entry. And then we will gonna start adding transition for that animation that we've added earlier. So from this, hover your mouse on the entry node, pull out, and then there will be an arrow. And then on the search bar, there will be two options, add conduit or add state. We're gonna select add state. And then let's rename this as idle, or this will be your transition for your idle animation. So from this part, as you can see, as I hover my mouse, there is a white border, so just pull out. So there will be another arrow and just simply select add state and type walk. And then we will have this icon. So this is a transition from idle to walk. So we will have also our animation from idle to jog. So hover your mouse until a white border will appear and pull out, and then another arrow will be added and select add state and type jog. So this will be the transition. From idle you can walk, from idle you can jog. But the problem would be from walking you can go back to idle. So we just have to connect the two. So from this part, hover your mouse until a white border appears and click on this connect. So after idle you can walk, then from walk you can go back to idle. Same goes with your jog, connect. And same goes with your walk, you can jog, and from jog you can walk. So this will be your transition. So next we're gonna add some animation for the idle. So what we're gonna do is, oh, don't forget, you select compile and save. So double click on idle, and then this will be your node output animation pose. So we're gonna add some animation. So since it is an idle, we're gonna select our crouch idle from the animation that we have imported earlier. So on the right side on your details tab, asset browser tab, we have this crouch idle. So simply select, click, hold and drag on your blueprint. Okay, then adjust, and then from your animation pose, attach it from the result. So when you compile it, it will start to have this kind of animation. Then next, we'll go back to animation mannequin, and select walk. Double click on your walk and select your crouch walk. Okay. Then don't forget to compile, save, and then go back to animation mannequin. So for this part, the jog, we're gonna have a different approach in here. So we're gonna use the animation blend later. So for now, we're gonna fix our transition from idle to walk. So for us to adjust that, I'm gonna simply double click this icon, and then let's go to event graph. Then here you're gonna see this event blueprint update animation and get pawns, and just I'm gonna add some nodes. So right click on this part and type cast to third person character. So you're gonna select the first one, cast to third person character, and attach your event blueprint update animation, and then attach your try get pawn owner to object like so. And then on this part, as third person character, hover your mouse over here and then pull out the node and type is falling. And select this is falling character movement. So it's gonna be like this. Just. And then you're gonna right click on the return value and promote it as variable. And then you can rename this new variable. So go to your right side on the details tab, highlight everything and rename it as is falling. And then hit enter. So you're gonna have this. Then go back to your idle to walk rule. The next you can see there is an added variable is falling. Just simply click, hold and drag, and then select get is falling. And then in this part, we're gonna add some equation by right clicking, and then on the search bar, we're gonna type equal boolean. Then connect for the first one, and then second one. And then make sure this is checked. Then compile and hit save. So this will be your output, and then select everything, right click and then copy, go back to animation mannequin, and for the second transition, walk to idle, double click, and then paste or Ctrl plus V. Then connect, but in this part, it will be unchecked. And then compile, hit save. Then go back to your animation mannequin, And the third transition, drag to walk. Control plus V, connect, then make sure it is checked. Go back to animation mannequin. And the fourth transition, from walk to jog, double click, Control V, connect, and then uncheck. Compile, save. So for the jog, we're gonna have a different approach by having a animation blend. So kindly save, and then minimize. So for this round, we're gonna go in this blueprints folder and then right click, go to animation, then blend space. And then select new E4 mannequin skeleton. It will have this. Then go to file, save all. Then double click new blend space. So this will be your interface. On the left side, as you can see, no, we already have our yung horizontal axis natin, yung vertical axis. So yung mga yun is ito yun, yung nasa timeline natin. So let's add crouch idle. Select and drag. 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 And for the top, jog forward, and we also have walk sa middle part para kapag tatayo siya, hindi siya parang glitchy or GI effect na biglang tatayo. So in here we have this transition. Smoothen siya. Okay? And then don't forget to save. Minimize natin. Then go back to your new anim blueprint. Double click. Go back in this part. Double click your jog. And ang ida-drag natin dyan is yung new blend space. Attach. And then on this part, meron tayong direction speed. Right click on that direction and promote it as variable. Right click on speed and promote it as variable. So we could rename. So for the direction, a variable name niya, let's have a direction. And of course, the speed, rename natin siya as speed. And then let's go back to event graph. And as our third person character, hover your mouse over here and pull out, type on the search bar, get velocity. Then select this one. You're gonna have this. Then pull out again the third person character. And on the search bar, type get actor rotation. So, umiikot yung character natin kada nagpapalat siya ng kanyang direction. Hindi siya umiikot ng side by side. And then on this gray part, right click and type on the search bar, calculate direction. Select. You have this. Then attach your, or pagpalit pa rin ko lang, attach your velocity here, return value, base rotation here. And then there's a return value, pull out nyo lang, and then type on the search bar, set direction. Ayan. So, we have this. So, connect nyo lang yung cast to third person character to set. Like so. And then this one too, meron tayong set, no? Kindly connect then from here to here. And then grab the return value ng get velocity and type on the search bar vector length squared. this one. And then pull out again your return value for vector length squared and write typeset speed. Okay. So we're gonna connect here. I'm gonna connect here again. Then go back to jog state, go back to animation mannequin, and on our next transition of our idle to jog, double click, and then select your variable for speed, click, hold, and drag in this area, then get speed, and on this part, right click, type float, greater than equal float, then kindly select this second part for the value and change it to 10, and then connect speed in here, select this one, it will be like this, and then don't forget to compile and save. So we're just gonna minimize, and for the third person character, double click, and then go to viewport. So this will be your default character. So we're just gonna replace it with our own import character. So select mesh, your components tab, and on the right side you're gonna select or look for anim class and select drop down arrow, look for new anim blueprint, select, and you can see it's adjusted, and select compile and save. So minimize and let's see if it will work. So hit play for the crouching, and when you press W, it will pop something like this.